Ever wonder why your grocery bill keeps rising? Even when the supermarket claims there's a sale on, you walk down the aisle, surrounded by bright red down down stickers and yellow prices dropped tags, thinking you're scoring a bargain. But when you get to the checkout, the total number on the screen makes your stomach drop. You aren't imagining things, and you aren't just bad at budgeting. You are trapped in one of the most concentrated grocery markets in the entire developed world. Today, we are exposing Australia's giant supermarket duopoly, the two corporate behemoths, Coles and Woolworths. We're going to break down how they use their massive power to squeeze farmers, manipulate prices, and trick consumers. More importantly, we're going to look at the alternative, IGA, and why shifting your weekly shop to an independent grocer is one of the most powerful economic and ethical decisions you can make. Let's break this down into the 8 key reasons why the giant chains are failing us, and how IGA offers a better way forward. Point number 1. The duopoly issue and concentrated power. If you look at grocery markets around the world, you'll usually find a healthy mix of players. In the US, giants like Walmart share the stage with Kroger, Costco, Target, and regional chains. In the UK, Tesco competes with Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrisons, Aldi, and Lidl. But here in Australia, Coles and Woolworths control roughly 80% of the grocery market. 80%. That means out of every $10 spent on food and household essentials in this country, $8 goes straight into the pockets of just 2 corporations. This level of concentration gives Coles and Woolworths an unprecedented amount of control over our lives. When 2 companies dominate the market so completely, they don't actually have to compete with each other. Instead, they engage in what looks like a coordinated dance. One raises the price of milk, the other follows. One introduces a new fee for suppliers, the other matches it. They set the rules of the game, and as consumers, we are forced to play. This lack of genuine competition is the primary reason why your grocery bill is skyrocketing, even as the global cost of shipping and producing food starts to stabilize. Point number 2. The IGA fake discounts investigation. Now, Coles and Woolworths will tell you that their prices are fair and that they are doing everything they can to help Aussie families during a cost of living crisis. But the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, the IGA, recently decided to take a closer look at those claims. What they found was so shocking that they launched landmark legal action against both chains. The IGA investigation exposed a systematic pattern of deceptive pricing, particularly targeting the discounts we rely on to get through the week. The tactic was simple but devious. First, the supermarket would quietly raise the price of a popular product, say a box of biscuits, a bag of pet food, or a bottle of dishwashing liquid, by 20 or 30%. They would keep the product at this artificially high price for a very short period, sometimes just a few weeks. Then, they would lower the price slightly, but slap a massive red down or yellow prices dropped sticker on it, advertising it as a major sale. Here's the catch. The new sale price was actually higher than the original, everyday price before the hike. You were being told you were saving money, when in reality, you were paying more than you did a month ago for the exact same item. It was an illusion of savings, designed to trigger our bargain-hunting instincts and make us buy. The IGA alleges that this deceptive practice affected millions of products across hundreds of categories over several years. It wasn't an accidental pricing error, it was a deliberate, system-wide strategy to inflate profits under the guise of helping consumers. Point number 3. Squeezing our farmers and suppliers. The exploitation doesn't stop at the checkout. To understand the true cost of Coles and Woolworths, we have to look at the other side of the counter, the suppliers. Australian farmers and small producers are the backbone of our country, but to Coles and Woolworths, they are just lines on a spreadsheet to be squeezed. Because Coles and Woolworths control 80% of the market, suppliers have no choice but to sell to them. If a farmer loses a contract with Coles or Woolworths, their business is essentially dead overnight. This massive power imbalance allows the big chains to use aggressive, borderline bullying negotiation tactics. They dictate the prices they are willing to pay, often forcing farmers to sell their produce at or below the actual cost of production. Think about the dairy industry. For years, the major supermarkets sold milk for just $1 a litre. It was a loss leader tactic, designed to get customers through the door, but it devastated Australian dairy farming. Thousands of multi-generational family farms were forced to shut down because they simply couldn't survive on the pennies Coles and Woolworths were willing to pay. And it gets worse. Suppliers are often forced to pay what are known as slotting fees, essentially renting shelf space in the supermarkets. If they want their products at eye level, they have to pay a premium. If they want to be featured in the weekly catalogue, they have to fund the discount out of their own pockets. The supermarkets take all the credit for the sale, while the small family business takes the financial hit. Point number 4, the private label squeeze. On top of that, Coles and Woolworths have been aggressively expanding their private label ranges, the Coles branded and Woolworths branded products. These products are often placed right next to name brands at a lower price. But how are they made? Often, the supermarket will ask a successful independent brand to manufacture the private label version for them. If the brand refuses, the supermarket might threaten to pull their product off the shelf. If the brand agrees, they are forced to compete against their own product, undercutting their own margins. It's a ruthless system that crushes innovation and drives small, ethical producers out of business. Point number 5, the loyalty card surveillance trap. Before we talk about the solution, we need to address another tool in the Coles and Woolworths arsenal, the loyalty card. Programs like Flybys and Everyday Rewards are marketed as a way for you to earn points and get cash off your shops. But in the digital age, data is the most valuable commodity on Earth, and these loyalty programs are actually sophisticated data mining operations. Every time you scan your card, Coles and Woolworths track exactly what you buy, when you buy it, how often you shop, and even how you pay. They build an incredibly detailed profile of your household. They know when you have a baby, when you start eating healthier, and when you are struggling financially. They use this data to optimize their prices in real time, ensuring they charge the absolute maximum price you are willing to pay. They also package this consumer data and sell it to third-party marketing companies, insurance firms, and financial institutions. The $10 off your next shop isn't a gift. It's the price they pay to buy your privacy. Point number 6, the IGA difference, independent ownership. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we take back control of our food system and support a more ethical retail ecosystem? The answer is right in your neighborhood, IGA. IGA stands for Independent Grocers of Australia. Unlike Coles and Woolworths, which are massive public companies answerable to faceless corporate shareholders and hedge funds, IGA operates on a completely different business model. Every single IGA store is independently owned and operated. The person who owns the store is often a local family, an independent business owner, or a partnership of locals. They don't sit in a boardroom in Sydney or Melbourne. They are on the shop floor, stocking shelves, talking to customers, and working the registers. The IGA owner is quite literally your neighbor. When you spend $1 at IGA, you aren't funding a corporate executive's multi-million-dollar bonus or lining the pockets of institutional investors. You are helping a local family pay their mortgage, employ local kids, and keep their business alive. This independent ownership model changes the entire dynamic of the store. Because they aren't bound by rigid national corporate directives, IGA owners have the freedom to run their stores in a way that actually benefits the community. Point number 7, sourcing local and keeping money in the community. One of the biggest differences is the supply chain. While Coles and Woolworths rely on centralized distribution networks that prioritize mass-produced, long shelf-life goods shipped from giant warehouses, IGA stores have a local-first philosophy. Step into an IGA, and you will immediately notice products you will never see in the big chains. You'll find honey from a beekeeper down the road, eggs from a family farm in the next valley, sourdough from the artisan baker around the corner, and fresh produce from regional growers. Because IGA owners can buy directly from local suppliers, they keep money circulating within the local economy. When money stays local, it has a multiplier effect. The local farmer uses the money they made from IGA to buy equipment from the local dealer, who then hires a local mechanic, who then buys lunch at the local cafe. This economic circulation is what keeps regional towns and suburban communities thriving. By contrast, when you shop at Coles and Woolworths, that money is immediately drained out of your community and sent to corporate headquarters in the big cities, never to return. The independent model also allows IGA to adapt to the specific needs of the local neighborhood. If a community has a large Italian population, the local IGA will stock a massive range of specialty Italian pasta, sauces, and cheeses. If the neighborhood is highly health conscious, the owner can easily expand the organic, gluten-free, and vegan sections. They don't have to wait for approval from a corporate head office 2,000 kilometers away to change a single item on their shelves. They listen to their customers, and they adapt. It's grocery shopping with a human face. Point number 8, the price reality check and specials strategy. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the price. If we want to build a credible argument for independent shopping, we have to be honest. If you go to IGA for your entire weekly shop, you might find that some everyday items are more expensive than they would be at Coles or Woolworths. It's easy to look at that price difference and decide that shopping at IGA is a luxury you can't afford. But we need to understand why that price difference exists. It isn't because the local IGA owner is greedy, it's because they don't have the massive bullying buying power of a duopoly. They pay their suppliers a fair price. They don't force farmers to sell at a loss. They don't demand slotting fees. The slightly higher price you might pay for certain items at IGA is the true cost of food. It's the price of a system where the farmer gets paid a living wage, where the local economy is supported, and where healthy competition is preserved. When we buy artificially cheap groceries at Coles and Woolworths, we are essentially subsidizing their corporate profits with the livelihoods of Australian farmers and the economic health of our own communities. It is a short-term saving that leads to long-term pain. Furthermore, shopping at IGA doesn't have to break your budget. It just requires a shift in how we shop. While everyday prices on some items might be slightly higher, IGAs run highly competitive weekly specials. Because they are supplied by Metcash, a major independent wholesaler, they have access to bulk buying power for major brands. Every week, IGA catalogs are packed with half-price specials, buy one get one free deals, and deep discounts on pantry staples. The trick to shopping at IGA ethically and economically is to become a special hunter. Build your weekly meal plan around the items that are on sale. Stock up on non-perishables like pasta, tinned tomatoes, toilet paper, and cleaning products when they go on deep discount. Buy your fresh meat and produce from the local suppliers featured in the IGA layout. By shopping the specials, you can keep your grocery bill highly competitive while still keeping your money in the community. It's also worth noting that because IGA stores stock a wider variety of local and independent brands, you often find high-quality alternatives that offer better value than the heavily marketed big brands. You might find a regional olive oil or a local brand of oats that is cheaper and taste far better than the mass-produced equivalents sitting on Coles and Woolworths shelves. Let's look at the bigger picture. When you choose where to shop, you aren't just buying food. You are casting a vote for the kind of country you want to live in. Do we want an Australia where two corporate giants control everything we eat, dictating terms to our farmers, extracting our personal data, and manipulating prices with impunity? An Australia where regional towns are hollowed out because local businesses can't compete with the big box giants? Or do we want a diverse, competitive, and ethical retail ecosystem? An Australia where family businesses can thrive, where farmers are respected and paid fairly, and where our communities retain the wealth they generate. The choice is ours, and it starts with our shopping trolleys. The next time you need to stock the pantry, resist the pull of the big box giant. Skip the corporate parking lot. Ignore the fake down signs, and head to your local independent grocer. Walk the aisles of your neighborhood IGA. Look at the local labels on the shelves. Meet the owner. You might pay a few cents more for some items, but you will be investing in the future of your community, supporting Aussie farmers, and breaking the chokehold of the Coles and Woolworths duopoly. It's better for your community, better for local suppliers, and it breaks the cycle of the duopoly. Let's make the switch, support local, and take back control of our food system. Comment below with your thoughts on Coles, Woolworths, and IGA. Share this video with a friend who needs to see it, and subscribe for more deep dives into the systems that run our lives. Stay informed, shop local, and support your neighborhood grocer.